Aha. Can you hear me now? Hey. Yeah, I muted my mic while I set up and I completely forgot. But like I said, I'll start again. Introduction to my world, Darmoria. As you can see in the title, it's twin moons. Every 100 years or so, the orbits align. Now I'm going to turn my alert box down because that is really loud. Okay. Thank you for everyone that's followed me. Shy Red Fox, Ajax Auditori, Talia, Danny Adventures, hey, Dinosaur Bob. Thank you. So anyway, back to now. I have a little cheat. I have a request. I like to get my audience involved. Wouldn't be me if there wasn't technical glitches. There we go. That's the one. Right. Can you tell it's my second stream ever? I like some ideas for the names of the moons. It's two moons. One's fairly close on a fast orbit, very circular orbit. One's a little bit further away on a rather erratic elliptical orbit. Laura Bones, yes. Names are hard, words are hard. Or in my case, words are ugh. So, tick. Years or so, these orbits align, causing gravitational pull. Fancy name generators, yes, I've used that before. That is pretty good. A little introduction to my world, Darmoria. I created this especially because in a lot of games, D&D, Pathfinder, things like that, magic can be a bit overused at times. It's almost become a utility. You want to pick something up, use Mage Hand. You want to open door, open and close, whatever name spell it is. It's used a lot. So I wanted to rein that back in and make magic special again. I wanted to make it unusual. So I made a world where magic still exists, yet it is rare, very rare. Magic casters are about as rare as the Jedi in Star Wars: New Hope. Circulos, Erratilos? Circular and erratic, yeah, I can see that. Also religion still exists again, but that's waned off. People have lost their belief. Hundreds of years ago, there was a big war because religious leaders amassed so much power and control that it went to their heads and it caused problems. They became very power hungry. In time, people rose up, they'd had enough, and deposed all the religious leaders. Those that were just good, honest, God-fearing people were left alone, but those that used religion as a front for their own agendas, they didn't fare so well. Danny Adventures here. I'm a terrible name. Yesterday I suggested someone name their blue magic dust simply blue. Tor? Yeah, could use Tor. I think that'd be the closest one. If you can hear noise in the background, that is my computer fan, which is right there. I tried to move it earlier, but it won't fit anywhere else. The computer is a bit big, so I'm going to have to deal with it at the moment. Tor, something a little bit longer for the second moon. There. So in the various cultures around the world, these moons have had many different names in the past and many various stories to go with them. One such story. Excuse me, I'm using my phone for the chat at the moment because I don't have a second screen yet. But every now and then it wants to dim the screen and shut down the screen. Second-hand samurai. Yeah, I'm surprised my laptop doesn't fly for the noise the fan makes. So you're trying to take off, is it? Sure, Red Fox in mine gets noisy too. I had to get a fan to put under it. Yeah, I've three or four. I think it's four fairly sizable fans in mine. It's a decent machine, but yeah. Having my computer about a foot away from my webcam. I've got a lav mic on, but still only a couple of feet away. Yeah, it picks everything up. story. I'll go back and originating in Alex. Yep. Alexos is one of the countries in my world. It's a very interesting country. I'll go into that in a minute. I think Tor and Nera. Subject to change. In the various cultures around the world, these runes have many different names and have had many different names in the past, and many varied stories to go with them. One such story originating in Ilaxos suggests these two bodies are lovers, the larger Tor chasing his lover Niara across the sky in a never-ending struggle to win her affection. I will go back and format the page later. I just want to get information down first. Tie string like a helium balloon through the Kensington lock. How I'm going to expand this into 300 words, I'm not too sure. I'm used to, because I work in catering, I'm used to saying as much as I can in as short a space as I can. When you're dealing with head chefs, you don't want to ramble on too much. It doesn't go down well. elusive across the night sky. So that. So another myth regarding these two moons, this one originated from Stolzland, another country. It says that Thor is a great hunter. Oh, chasing his forever, I need to change that. Forever chasing his elusive prey across the night sky. During the time that Neo is not visible, it is said that Thor has hunted down his quarry. Now, if you bear with me, I just got to copy and paste in a country name, because as you can see here, it's got one of those funny little lights above the A, and I can't type that. But I can, but it'll take too long. It's easier to copy and paste. I so need to work on that. Yeah, that's all I've got for now. So maker. Yep, it's a decent start. Everything has a start. It's very true. I've got to start somewhere. Like with anything, you've got to start somewhere. Whereas in Yardval, it said that these two bodies traversing the sky are what are left over from creation times. Although the great maker did not want them for the world, he felt that these were worthy of something. It's worthy of something. Not what, but something. No, I'm going to change that. We're good enough to become company of Darmoria. Right, so in Yardval it is said that these two bodies traversing the skies were what was left over from creation times. Although the great maker did not want them for the world, he felt that these were good enough to accompany the previously lonely world of Darmoria. Make sure I save that. Always best to save often. Like Red Fox was saying in her stream a while ago, definitely save as much as you can. So, don't want accidents to happen. Ooh, 247 words. See how much you can get written in 26 minutes. Not too bad. So, can we make it 300? And I'll give it a little tour of my world. Yeah. And a title. Here's another word. Introduction. Alignment. I'll probably change that in a bit later on, but it's something for now. Yeah, for yes, really. It's one thing I'm forever doing. It's hitting the space bar when I'm still typing a word. Yeah, getting there, I think. Does anyone else hit the space bar while we're still in the middle of typing a word? Or is it just me? do it all the time. Yeah, Red Fox hit many wrong keys when typing here. I should be known to stress myself out or get frustrated, not stress myself out, get frustrated with myself. Just because I've gone over the same word about 3 or 4 times, just because every time I hit the wrong keys, and keys in different order, and things like that. Okay. This. I always misspell this word. Yep, every time. But it's not underlined red, so it's a good sign. Coast. These can cause massive floods. This regional Red Fox. Oh dear. True confessions, I misspelled assess badly on a master's level course report, so it takes to be my blunders. True, but I seem to do it over and over and over in the same word. It's like there's no communication between the two. Don't know what happens. It just stop it. Bad hands, bad fingers. Yeah, I prefer that. As was mentioned above, every 100 years or so these two moons align in their orbit. At other times, the drastically different orbits keep them from forming a straight line. Although the gravitational effects on the planet are felt at other times, during this alignment, the extra pull on the seas and oceans of Darmoria cause massive surges in the tides, with obvious repercussions on the land, especially on the coast. These can, I'll keep it like that. These can cause massive floods and occasional tidal waves, destroying everything in their path. Second-hand samurai. It's a favourite saying of a mate of mine, that is, who's dyslexic himself. Dyslexic of the world's untie. Save again. How far have I got? Oh, eligible. It's no longer a draft. It's okay. Remember, not a draft. Dear. And it always helps to go back and spell check. That's what I like about my browser. It underlines words in red when they're misspelled. It's great. I feel I can expand on that a bit later. I've got enough for now. So let's have a little look at my world. It's a bit different to classic fantasy. There's elements of classic fantasy in there. This was originally built for a Pathfinder one-shot. While designing this one-shot, I found this amazing site called World Anvil, where I could write about my little details and kind of expanded, and come to this. So, Darmoria, a simple fantasy world going through dark, tumultuous times. Dark forces are rising, attacking innocent towns and villages. That is not the only enemy. Rulers have to watch for enemies within their own courts as well as those on their own borders. I completely messed that up. As political games and plots are rife. I know I'm messing up, I need a break. Stay hydrated. Alright, see you later, Shy Red Fox. Thank you for joining me. Second Hand Samurai. Me, Janet and Dimmy make the world's worst Bond team. Walking Dead Lover 987. Try accidentally writing "Can I change my shift?" as "Can I change?" Oh, I bet that was amusing. How did I take that? That's the thing, working in catering, you write things like that and they just don't care. They laugh with you. I can imagine that would be rather amusing. As I say, those political games and plots are rife. Religion and magic, while they still exist, have waned off. Belief has changed from the gods to believing in what you can see and feel, while some of those in power are more concerned with their own agendas and ambitions than any higher being or purpose. As for magic, people just don't use it anymore, except for those few that still keep the old traditions, but they are few and far between. And as you can see from the map, Stormsland is where I was basing my one-shot. That's very overemphasised sort of old Germanic tribes, very harsh language. Country is roughly the size of Russia in our world, so it's a huge country. And this is my favourite, Russell Yalaxos. Well, the north is a lot of desert land, very much like Egypt. I didn't base it on Egypt at all. Okay, there might be some slight inspiration. One large river going through the middle, big delta at the end, huge delta, much bigger than the Nile. But the mountains across the middle here completely change the climate. Don't know if anyone knows about weather cells, or big rotating cells that cause the weather and things. Across the planet, that hits the mountains, drops all the rain. All the rain goes south, or at least the majority of it, causing southern Yalaxos to be very wet, rich verdant rainforest, and the middle bit just below the mountains, fading through to swamp marshland. Inspirations were Brazilian rainforest and places like Louisiana swamps and things like that, but given my own twist. In these mountains here, there's a lot of mined, very expensive gems. Yeah, gems, gold. Whereas it travels up north. You've got Balsadine, which is the capital here, that exports to everywhere around the globe. But when the money comes back, it's a little bit slower to go south. So northern Ulaxos is very rich, especially Balsadine, and which takes its name from the river Sadine. Bal means mouth of, so the mouth of Sadine River. But southern Ulaxos, below these mountains, it's very, very poor. The further south you go, the poorer you get. Which obviously causes some tension. Around here you got going north, you've got Njardval, which is very Nordic, especially Old Norse, that kind of country. You've got the frozen north, above around and above the Kullspir Mountains. Southern is still sort of fairly temperate, slightly cold, or in between temperate and frozen. And I actually got the name from Google. I googled Old Norse for north and Old Norse for land and combined the two. Njard is north, Val is land, or according to Google anyway. So I just keep checking my Streamlabs. Around you got Gadralan. These two, Rhiannon and Gadralan, I'm still kind of working on. Not done a lot of work to these. But this is typical, Gadralan is your typical farming. Very much like the Shire. There's elements of that from Lord of the Rings. But I didn't just want to stick to stereotypes. Also, the county that I live in the UK, Norfolk, is a big farming county. So there's elements of that. It does vary throughout the country, but as a general gist, that's basically what the country is. Got to do a lot more work. And Rhiannon is another interesting one. It's your typical mounted chivalric knights. They're very famous for their mounted knights. I don't know if anyone here plays Warhammer. You've got the old Warhammer Fantasy. They unfortunately changed to Age of Sigmar, but let's not go into that. I've taken elements of the Bretonnians mixed with the French Revolution, where you get the landed gentry who are very up themselves, very rich, treated very well, very pretentious. Varies from people to people, but as a general idea, they are very, very pretentious, and they do not treat the peasantry well at all. Peasantry are very, very poor, which causes obvious tension. I do need to do a lot more work, especially on the landscape and that. I created this map in Incarnate quite a long time ago now. My finances kind of changed a bit, and I didn't want to pay for the subscription anymore, so I've not been able to work in it anymore. And over here in the southwest, you've got a little, well, it's not so little, it's quite a large island, very large island. Bear in mind the size of the other countries. Madarossi, which is a little bit like Madagascar in our world, but it is basically beaches around the edge, forest in the middle. There's not a lot there. It's not very populated, even considering the size of it. There's people there, but not a great amount. And you've got the Skirt Isles over here in the east. That is not inhabitable at all. You've got a huge volcano here, very prone to pyroclastic flows and going boom in a big way. A big way. So every couple of years or so it just decimates these little islands around it. It's very fertile, and if the volcano were to go dormant, it would be a fantastic place to live because of the rich volcanic soil there. But like I said, every few years or so, wipe out. And it's a boom. And then you've got Tolaris, the northwest here. Again, a very forested island. Big hills in the middle. And with my world, I've not gone for Elfland, Dwarven Kingdoms, things like that. I've not gone for segregated races. They're all mixed in. So it's land before race, or country before race. But Tolaris does have a higher proportion of elves to the rest of the world. That is where they originated and spread across. And Kiros is almost the same. It's where a lot of the aquatic races live, because they're obviously surrounded by sea, small island. A lot of them live in the sea around it. Merfolk and things like that. And you've got a very interesting country, a little sliver here, called Nazakar. Now this is named the Land of Beasts. A lot of the Minotaurs, ogres, Goliaths taken from D&D 5e, or D&D in general. Also mountain dwarves and the races that can handle a mountainous, freezing cold environment. But I've not gone for the classic, oh, your Minotaurs are evil. I don't. Even though I've taken inspiration from various sources, I've not gone for the classic tropes. They are just normal people. It could even be a playable race if you want to. Which would be quite interesting. Playing a Minotaur or playing an ogre, that would be interesting. So the ogres are not destructive. They're very tribal, very clan-based. They keep themselves to themselves, but they're not, wanton destruction, evil ogre. It's not that at all. And you got Tethys. That's a land of mystery. Many millennia ago, the land used to be ruled by the vampires. People rose up, defeated the vampires. They're thought to be extinct. They still are. It's now so far in the past, eons in the past, It's thought to be mere myth. Vampires are thought to never existed, or just mere fairy tales you tell your children. If only they knew the truth. They were very real, and it was very, very dark times. Back in what was called the Third Era. We're now in the Fifth Era. I'm probably going to the timeline another time. It's thousands of years ago. A lot of this is just barren, uninhabited land, not really being populated. It's just a dark place that you don't go. Even though they think it's myth, it's just no one's really bothered to go anywhere near it. And you've got Barak Thar. Now this is a lot of inspiration from Mordor, Tolkien world, but given my own twist. This is typical land of the orcs. I have gone for the classic, almost a classic trope, evil orcs. Now what's doing a lot of the raiding at the moment, but not just orcs, there's other races, humans, elves, or collectively called the Dark Peoples. That's where the main problem is now, as well as other political problems and other problems around the world, like weighing on the class difference, the Laxos with the very financial difference. Well, so you tend to. Already, you know, 50 minutes already. It would help if I could. And I said Yalaxos, a large, rich, varied and multicultural land, broad sprawling desert to the north, studded with rich, verdant oases, while the mountains in the centre change the climate to produce wet marshland and rainforest in the south. The people are warm, friendly and welcoming, hospitality being at the forefront of their culture. Its openness and friendly, hospitable manner, and often quite outgoing personalities, lead them to being very open to trade. This and their large river system has led them to being a land of merchants and traders. Precious gems, that's what I was trying to think of before, precious gems, and from the mountain areas being their main source of income, which I need to add in gold there as well. Yeah. Precious gems and gold, which in turn has made them very rich indeed, although some may say that the majority of money seems to stay in the north, while a less than equal share seems to trickle down to the south. I need a drink. All this talking about thirsty work. So, I'll go in there, I'm going to edit that. Just now, as you can see, I don't use CSS much because I have no clue. I have no clue whatsoever. Robot voice. Second-hand samurai. How's my audio now? Sometimes my voice, especially through this lav mic I've got, comes across. Hey. Sometimes when I'm playing in the games on Discord, especially through this lav mic, I said, my voice does come across robotic. So I was just hoping I've not done a 54-minute stream with a robotic voice. Although it would be useful for playing a Warforged. That'd be rather useful. That'd be interesting. Playing a wolf has a robotic voice. Anyway, that is almost it for my stream. I'm going to end it at 10 o'clock UK time. I don't know what time it is, wherever you... Twitch just playing funny with. Twitch tends to do that. A couple of weeks I've had Twitch being very jumpy with me. Occasionally just had to buffer it and reload and things like that. Or it's been going... have you had it going blurry recently? Or is that just me? Be interested to know that actually, because a couple of sort of live stream games that I watched, the video has been a bit blurry. Didn't you say something about checking your grammar after finishing an article? You want to check your grammar if you have it. I will. Thank you, Walking Dead Lover. I might check that. I tend to get my ideas down before I forget them, and then go back and sort of refine things like I've just done with and gold. Add bits in later on. All my articles, even if they're never finished, never finished, they are always work in progress, because I can always go back and change bits, reformat things, and when I learn more CSS, I'll be changing a hell of a lot. I'll be actually formatting my pages properly. Hey, Tropico Boy, glad you could join us. I might do a little bit extra considering you just joined. In a second hand samurai, I know there's a 2-hour gap, but me on my second stream talking for that long. I'm still getting used to this whole Twitch thing. So future streams will be much better. I just find it really odd constantly talking to a camera. I know I'm talking to you guys, but I can't physically see you, so that's something I'm getting. Thank you for the follow. Hey, Walking Dead Lover, thank you. Oh, thank you, World Anvil. This is why I need a second screen, because I have to click back to my Streamlabs to see follows and things like that. I've got my chat on my phone to the side, but unfortunately the app only shows chat. It doesn't show follows and things. So future streams, that will be an issue that's going to get sorted. Save that. Hitting twin moons. So what can I add to this? Oh, it's eligible for submission. I feel there could be more. Do I go more down the myth side, or do I go down scientific sort of side? Yeah, second-hand samurai. Yeah, streamers want to order screens. Yes, definitely, definitely. It took me a while to get used to playing games online. Only recently started doing a lot more of that, thanks to the recent coronavirus lockdown, because I've had the time. At one point I was doing 5 games a week and DMing one of them. That was busy. Madman Crow is streaming summer camp, but isn't on schedule yet. Oh, is Madman Crow on now? If so, I might raid him in a minute. Nice one, Tropico boy. Cool. So, I feel like I've talked enough and my throat is dry. So, I need to stop talking. So, let's raid. I need to copy and paste. And let's go raid. Tropico boy. Didn't realise I didn't need to make a new world for Summercat. So sadly I didn't add to my world. Well, that's the beauty of World Anvil. You can add to it any time. And I should be looking at the camera and not a phone. Sorry, a bad habit of mine. But yeah, you can add to it any time. So, well, if you start a new world, it's always there if you want to explore something different. I actually have 2 worlds, but yeah, you can transfer article between worlds as well. Yes, I had a creature called. Am I going to like this? Yeah, to everyone else in the stream, Tropico Boy is my DM on my Saturday, no, not Saturday, Sunday games, where I play a paladin. Pig, lion, griffin that spews acid. I don't think I'm going to like this, am I? Great, that could be fun. Okay. I look forward to encountering that. Anyway, we are raiding and we are going to Madman Crow. So I hope to see you there. Let's light up the forge there. It's like a huge. Oh, Tropical Boy, we are also going to have a chat. Okay, see you there.